Let's be honest. If wealth was only about hard work and discipline, every teacher, every nurse, and every factory worker would be a millionaire today. But they aren't. Have you ever wondered why? It's because you are trying to win a game whose rules you don't even know. By playing honestly. And the truth is, this game was never designed for you to win. Many people will never achieve financial freedom, not because they're lazy or stupid, but because the system is designed that way. It keeps you busy, confused, and comfortable enough not to revolt. And by the time many people realize the game is rigged, it's already too late to win, because they never learned the rules in the first place. That's the part no one tells you. They tell you to work hard, buy a house, invest. They say financial freedom is only about discipline. But to be honest, discipline alone won't get you there. If it did, every nurse, teacher, and factory worker who saved diligently throughout their life would retire wealthy. But they don't. And it's not due to a lack of effort, it's because the system is designed this way. Financial freedom isn't just about money, it's about control, time, options, and security. It's the power to say no to your boss, a bill, or a crisis. This kind of freedom isn't given, it's built. And to build it, you must understand what holds people back. Let's start with history. For most of human history, wealth has always been tied to land, because land meant food and food meant power. In medieval Europe, 90% of the population worked land for others. They were called serfs, but in reality, they were laborers trapped by debt, rent, and fear of hunger. Sounds familiar? Then came the Industrial Revolution. People were no longer tied just to land. They were tied to wages. Factories replaced fields, but the dynamic stayed the same. Work long hours, earn just enough to survive, remain dependent. By the 20th century, something new appeared. The middle class. A class that could buy a house, start a family, maybe retire someday. Yet even then, true freedom was rare, because the entire system, from education to work to consumer culture, was designed to keep people working and spending. Fast forward to the 21st century. Productivity skyrocketed, technology exploded. Yet for many, real wages stagnated. The middle class is shrinking and continues to shrink. Meanwhile, living costs, housing, healthcare, education, keep rising rapidly. Debt became the norm. Credit card debt, auto loans, mortgages, medical bills. The average American household now carries over $100,000 in debt, and that's just the average. Now ask yourself, who benefits while most people are constantly paying things off? Add inflation into the mix, the silent thief. Today's $1 buys less than half of what it did 20 years ago. And the solutions offered, printing more money, lowering interest rates. But when that happens, asset prices soar. Stocks, real estate, commodities. The rich who already own these assets get richer. Those who own nothing get poorer. This isn't a mistake. It's the system's dynamic, a financial system that runs on debt, lubricated by inflation and maintained through confusion. And the most critical point, the system makes you blame yourself. You didn't save enough, it's your fault. You can't buy a house, you're not working hard enough. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You need to budget better. The system takes no responsibility. It just sells you another app, course, or product, keeping you trapped in the same cycle. This is where the truth starts to sting, but also to make sense. Many people cannot achieve financial freedom because it's not just about income. It requires leverage, and most never reach it. They work for money and trade their team for a paycheck, but real wealth is the opposite. Money works for you. Your assets generate income, and your time becomes optional. The shift from labor to leverage is where freedom exists, and most people are never taught to pursue it. Many are stuck in a cycle that only looks like progress. Get a job, work, borrow, spend on credit, upgrade your lifestyle, chase promotions, pay taxes, maybe retire. But the problem isn't just debt. It's the dependencies that come with it. If you rely on a paycheck to survive, you can't take risks. If your life is financed by debt, you can't say no. If your identity is tied to what you consume, you spend your life maintaining what's imposed on you. Now let's look at the upper class, those who are fully financially free. They play by different rules. They don't trade time for money. They own it, delegate it, and use compound growth. They understand taxes, loopholes, business structures, and trusts. They think not in paychecks, but in decades. Most importantly, they keep the system complex so you don't learn to think like them. School doesn't teach financial leverage. It doesn't explain how inflation lifts wealth upward. It doesn't tell you passive income is a core strategy for the rich. Instead, they sell you the culture of work harder, hustle, catch up. It's a treadmill disguised as a journey. When you're exhausted, they sell coffee, therapy, or short escapes. But the real thing is never given. Here's the truth. Financial freedom is rebellion. It's the refusal to be dependent. It's refusing to spend your life and energy on someone else's and everyone else's dreams. But it's hard to rebel against something you don't understand. That's why financial education isn't optional. It's essential. The journey begins with tough questions. Where does your money go each month? How much of your income depends on your labor? So how can you change that? Which skills can you develop? Which assets can you create or acquire? Perhaps most importantly, what can you remove from your life? True wealth isn't just about having more, it's about needing less. Not minimalism as a trend, but strategically. Because every dollar saved isn't a luxury denied, it's a seed sown. Here, mindset comes into play. The average person reacts to money. The financially free person designs the system. They create security, anticipate fluctuations, see the difference between price and value. They don't chase the market, they position against it. This isn't theory. History proves it. Families wealthy for generations didn't do it by predicting stocks. They owned income-producing assets, land, businesses, intellectual property that continued to grow. They passed down knowledge, structures, and strategies. Others were programmed as consumers. Earn, spend, repeat. Now you've started questioning. That's the first crack in the illusion. So what's the real path forward? It's not flashy, not popular. It won't make you rich overnight, but it's real. 1. Reduce your fragility. Eliminate obligations that make you reactive. Sometimes that means downsizing, selling your car, or moving somewhere cheaper, but every flexibility you gain is power regained. 2. Build assets, not just investments, but assets, skills that generate value in the market, businesses that grow independently of you, income while you sleep, investments. 3. Protect your mind, avoid news, ads, social media, and fear. Learn history, understand systems. 4. Share knowledge. True power isn't hidden, it's multiplied. Because the reality is, many people will never be financially free. Not because they can't, but because they don't know how or understand it. But you don't have to follow that script. You can write your own. First clarity, then control, then freedom. True freedom. A life where money is a tool, not a tyrant. It's hard, but possible. And now it begins. Most people will forget this video within an hour. Some will use it to change their lives forever. Which one are you? Like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay awake.